for the delay. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Adeel Maqbool. I am here in the Department of Business Management as Vice Dean and Professor. I have started my career from the industry, and I worked 13 years in fashion industry as a senior merchandiser and merchandising manager. And since 2009 onwards, I am into academics. I have completed my education from Adeel University from class 1 to Ph.D. So I'll take up your research methodology part of first unit and the last unit. First unit is related to the concept of research, types of research, etc. So I hope you all have downloaded the syllabus or not. Go to the website and you can download the syllabus of research methodology from there. I have this. I'll share the this on your group. And then first you have to make a group of research methodology and include all the students sitting here of different departments so that it will be easy to share the notes and all information at once. So the first unit is related to basic concept of research. So first of all, the first topic which is meaning of research. Here I would like to ask you what is search and what is research. What do you know? You can share your information with us
Research
in the
is
class.
focusing on the search that what we have, further deciding on what that search is, and finding the areas factors where we can have different meaning in that search that we have. That breaking of search is research.
Can you give any example related to the business management since you are from business management?
Like search would be what is the market analysis, and research would be statistical data and breaking down and understanding why it's like that.
So you can say research is a procedure. Research follow a procedure of knowing exactly what the problem is and what are the reasons that this problem is arises. So we have discussed search and research first in different aspects. The first I have taken here to search and research are related activities, but they have distinct differences in terms of their purpose, processes, in-depth knowledge of the inquiry. Here is some breakdown of the key differences between the search and the research. If you see, purpose. If you talk about the purpose, so searching typically refers to the act of looking for a specific information, as she said, or answer to a question only. It is often more focused and goal-oriented activity aimed at finding existing information quickly. Search is commonly associated with tasks like looking up facts, finding a location, or searching for a specific product online. Basically, this is an innovative activity in which you want to find out what exactly the problem is. Now you are not going in depth about the reasons, the causes. For that, we have to use the research in which a systematic activity or systematic process we have to follow. So, in other terms, we can say, in other words, we can say that search is typically refers to the act of looking for a specific information. Research, on the other hand, is a systematic and organized process. As I told you, it has to follow certain processes, or it has to pass from different processes, which involves different activities we will discuss here. So, it's an organized process of investigation and inquiry. Its purpose is to inquire new knowledge, generate insights, or contribute to existing knowledge which you have searched or already searched. Okay. In a particular field, the research often involves a more extended and in-depth exploration of a topic, and it may require analyzing, synthesizing, and critically evaluating multiple sources of information. What do you understand by from the first slide in which I have discussed the search and the research? You should understand what exactly search is and research is, because this is the very basic part of starting your research project or thesis. Can anybody explain this? Searching typically refers to the act of looking for a specific information. So this activity is an innovative activity, or for example, there is a inflation in a country. What is this? This is a search. If you are going to know what are the causes of inflation, why this inflation is exists, from how many years or how many days or how many months this inflation persists in a country, is research. Here, now process. We have divided this distinction between these two in four different parts: purpose, process, depth, and output. Then it will be very clear to you, all of you. Searching is typically a straightforward process involving queries or keywords entered into search engine, debates, or catalogs. The focus is on retrieving existing information from available sources quickly. Is this clear? The process is generally less structured. This is very important part of search, and in the part of research. It is less structured, or you can say it is not structured as compared to the research, which requires the knowing the problem through literature review, or already whatever the work on other researchers has already been done. So this is not an structured process. On the other hand, research is more complex and structured process. How can you say is it a structured process? How do you start research?
Yeah, it has no chart.
Yeah, there is a flow chart. Mhm.
There is a proper way we go through a particular topic.
Okay. All of you have decided your area of research. How you can say that you have already decided?
Just now we are coming from that side.
Mhm.
Dr. Smita ma'am
You are from which department?
education.
Education. What is the topic which you have in your mind?
Sir, mine is the education administration.
Education administration. Okay.
Administration, and just now I started my area.
So are you going to solve any problem?
Uh, Actually, what I thought was something like the management concerns, and there are a lot of areas which are untouched, particularly
How
this.
do you know this area
So
is
that
under?
has to be seen. Once I have decided the area,
Mhm.
now I'm going to explore like what are the fields which have not been taken care of.
Taken care
Now
of.
I will be taking.
Okay. So she has completed the initial work, which is required in a structured way of doing a research. She
This is
gone
the
through.
reason. This is the reason I told what is structure.
Okay. So this is that she has already gone through the literature on which the work has already been done, and from that literature she know that this area is vacant. This has not been touched by the other authors or the researchers. So she want to work on that. So this is the right way or structured way of starting a research project or thesis. So, research is more complex and structured process. It involves defining the research question, research objectives, conducting a literature review, as I told you, collecting and analyzing data and drawing conclusions, and then you can give your suggestions and recommendations for future research, which depends upon the limitations of your research. So this is basically a process which is in a structured way you are going to do it. As far as the depth is concerned, searching tends to be shallow and focus on finding specific, readily available information. It doesn't involve an in-depth analysis of exploration. जैसे I told you कि there is an inflation in a country. So this is a problem which we everybody can see that कि महंगाई बढ़ रही है and everybody is facing the problem of financial problems, uh, whether it is an individual or a organization or industry. So this is a common problem which is in the eyes of everybody, but nobody knows what is the reason why it is, from how much time it persists in the society, in the country. So this is not in depth, you can say. This is not in depth. But on the other hand, research is characterized by depth and thorough investigation. First, we will would like to know what is the reason of inflation, why it is existing in India, why not in neighboring countries, or if it is in the neighboring countries, why not it is affecting our country. That we are not going through in depth as far as the search is concerned. But in the research, it is characterized by depth and thorough investigation. It involves a deeper exploration of a topic, often including an extensive review of existing literature, data collection, and analysis. If any research has not been done on inflation in a country, for example, then we have to see these other researches which have been conducted in other countries, what was the process they have followed. We gone through the literature of review of different authors, and accordingly then we will have to start our work in our country. What is the reason the inflation is going on, or what is the reason that the tomatoes are coming in a very small quantity in our country, but in Nepal, for example, it is a very big quantity and very beautiful tomatoes are coming from the crops, or whatever. So now next is the output. The output of the search is typically the information or answers you were seeking. It has been clear that everybody is feeling that they do not have enough money to save. There may be a reason that is not in depth, but they know that there is something which is the cause, which may be the cause of this inflation. So, so this is the output of the search. Where it might be web page, a document, a piece of information that directly address you query. For example, if I want to know how many people sitting here have mobile phone, so everybody will raise hand. I know that so many students have mobile phone. If I want to know the how many of you have iPhone in this class, so for that we have to use a structural process. It means that our research will start. We'll collect the data. We have information that everybody is having mobile phone. In the second row, I'll write the different brands of phone. And third row, I'll write the number of people having such brand. So this process is called, what is this? Data analysis. Huh? We we are going to start data analysis. So a structure we are going to develop. In this, we are using research. So the output of the research can vary significantly, ranging from research papers and reports to experiment, survey, original insight. Research often results in new knowledge, theories, or solution to a specific problem. So when we will analyze the data of the mobile phones having this class of different brands, we can come to a finding that how many people in this class having iPhone. So this is the result of our research. What was the search?
How many of us have the phone?
How many
Mobile
people?
phone. How many of us have the mobile
Mobile phone,
and then the brand?
then the brand. Yes.
So that comes in
But we
the
cannot come to a conclusion without using research. This is the basic difference in search and research. So, in a nutshell, we can say the main difference between search and research lies in their purpose and depth. Search is focused on finding existing information which is available quickly, while research involves a more comprehensive and systematic investigation to create a new knowledge or deepen understanding. When we were searching that how many people have iPhone, we are now can say there how many people have other brands also. How many people have Vivo, how many people have Oppo, how many people have MI. That data also come when we are in search of how many people have iPhone. Clear? So this is the basic difference in search and research. Because of now, what is research? In a nutshell, we can say, or very broadly, we can explain that research can be defined as the search for knowledge or as any systematic investigation to establish fact. This is a very simple definition of research. Without investigating, you cannot come to a final finding, or you cannot recommend anybody that this is the cause and this is the effect. The cause and effect can be known after conducting a complete research. These are the different characteristics of research. Systematic. Research is always a systematic. What is the systematic process of conducting a research? Hmm. So I asked, what is a systematic process of research? Sorry.
Systematically approach flow of the
Flow of.
what we are going to start from the beginning
Yeah.
and stepwise we are going to get the findings
Yeah.
finally.
So the first, what is the first step? As you told me that you have already decided about your topic on education,
Area.
administration area. So I think this is also a broad area. What
And
exactly the
it is
area
a
you want?
very vast.
Very vast area. So this research may be for all over the world. How can you collect the data?
It's a
Yeah.
realistic search engine, but that also has to be very, very selective and
You cannot have entire data.
entire,
You cannot have. You have to choose a particular
particular
sample.
sample.
है ना?
Yes.
On the basis of that, you will generate your findings or results. If you want to know the this topic of education administration within a country, you have to divide our India into four zones: north, west, south, east, and from each zone you have to take a particular sample size.
And
Then in that zones you cannot cover all the districts, all the states. Then you have to come to specify your area of research.
yeah,
Hmm.
technology actually.
Yeah. So, like this, if you are going to have a research on the Middle East or in the South Asia or China, you have to divide.
It
Uh,
will vary.
yeah, it will vary. So you can do comparative study. Then also you have to take
Yes.
the data from two different locations, and then you can do it. So it's a systematic activity which starts from knowing your research problem. What is your research problem? That is the search part. I have said that there is an inflation in our country since last 5 years. What I observed, this is my search. Now I want to do a research that what are the reasons that this inflation is in our country since last 5 years. Then in that case, what will be my research problem? To know the reason of inflation in our country. This will be the reason. So this is research problem. It's a research problem, or you can say it's a broad research problem. Then I'll have to what is the second step? Then I'll go through the literature review, which has already been conducted in our country and other countries also. Then we will come to know the research gap. What is research gap?
What is the review and what survey we are like to grasp and find out findings.
For example, if I am looking for a house in this locality, in this Kursi Road, so we I have to search only those houses which are vacant. How do I know? How do I know that how many houses are vacant? Then I have to touch only those houses which are vacant. So this is the research gap we are looking for. We will go. What will be the sample unit? Only those owners who are getting their house on rent. So we will get to know that this is our research gap. We will have to work on that. So, what is research gap? What do you understand by research gap? After literature review, or if you are, I have given the example of looking for a house, then survey. We will do a survey, or we have a data or any website on which the people are giving their information of vacant houses. There is websites or different portals are there on which this information is available. Then we will have to see that. So this is the research gap is that on which problem, the problem which is untouched. The problem has not already been studied, recognized, and work has been done. So after getting research gap, we will come to our topic. Exactly topic. What topic is we have to take. So you all are not in a position to decide your topic. You are in a position to know the problem. Only the search part you are doing. Research part you will start not for RDC. We are not talking about RDC. We are talking about what is in your mind on a particular topic you want to work. For example, you what is in your mind to do your pursue your PhD on this topic? Hmm? Emotional intelligence in business management. This is the big topic.
Big topic and very work about topic. A lot of people
A
are
lot
doing
of work has already been done on this also. So which area you will choose?
I will choose to and small enterprises of India.
SMEs
SME and public
implementation or success?
in all everything. That I have to
Now
streamline
again
now
you
what I'm
are
going to do.
confused. Still your
Yes.
problem has not been identified.
Yes, it is not because unless I speak about it, unless I read the literature that what has been done already, I can't decide what I
Yeah,
can do.
yes, definitely. So this is the systematic process. Let's start from. You go through the literature review, you come to your research question, you come to your research problem, and you have the gap on which you are going to work, and that gap is beneficial for what? It should be beneficial for the society also. Hmm? Why we are everybody is working on sustainability? Because it is beneficial for the society. So the work which we are doing, mostly the students they take the topic they do not know exactly. I have seen one research scholar has taken the similar topic on which the work has already been done.
Yeah.
So at the third or fourth RDC stage, I recognize that this thesis has already been submitted on a similar topic. So I changed the topic on that RDC, make a minor changes because a lot of work she has already been done. So this is very important that you know that how much go through the Shod Ganga and see how many researches on the topic on which you want to work you have already been done by other authors or the researchers. So this is also part of the systematic process. Now logical. What is logical? What is illogical? Hmm. There should be a logic on doing a PhD on this. The focus should be that it will serve some purpose. That problem on which you are working may be solved. If you want to work on emotional intelligence, what problem you are going to solve for SMEs, there is some problem which is in your mind that you are going to solve, or at least you can recommend to the government or to the SMEs to implement that. Hmm? So this is the logical part. Empirical is experimental.
So, name itself where we can check if this thesis has been already done or not.
Shod Ganga is a website on which all over India theses are there. But this is confined to Indian prospects only. SHOUGH, Shod Ganga. SH. It is mandatory for every university and to upload the thesis on that. If you want to see my thesis, which I have done in 2001, is available there.
Was on sir,
Yes.
what topic?
My thesis was on Indo-US economic relations.
Oh.
It was a big topic,
Indo-US
economic
economic.
relations.
They are into
I covered the trade, investment, grants and aids from US to India since 2000. I have done this work since 1970 onwards.
1970.
Yeah,
1970.
yes,
1970.
19, 1970
Ah,
onwards. Why? Because I want to know the reason of coming business from America to India and the nations between India and America after the decentralization of the USSR. So that was my specific problem.
and
When I,
you were working with the US merchandiser and fashion as you said.
yes, yes, I was working
That
at
is
that time.
yes.
So I was, my clients was were from the US. So empirical means experimental. Should not be you have prepared a questionnaire and it has already been filled by you. Then it is not experimental. It will be a bogus research. It should be properly distributed. If you are doing an experiment, you have to use the lab. I do not have any experience of the scientific researches which are to be done conducted in labs or workshops. So the people who are sitting here are of different branches. How many are from bioscience? I think so, many. So, can you explain this empirical research or experimental research? What you are planning to do in your field? Yes. Okay. 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 It is based on experiment that you will do or in your laboratory. Okay. It should be deductive problem solving. Means we have a lot of discussion that the problem should be solved to to a great extent it can be solved. You cannot say that it is completely solved. Okay, if I have done a research on how inflation is going on, I will reduce the inflation. I can only suggest the government that these are the different ways through which the inflation can be minimized only. Replicable, the research should be replicable means
Yes, you can say a digitized
uh,
replica is we, no other research has been done. The research which I am doing is so should be unique and untouched, as I said. That particular area it should be given and not identical to the
yes, you can say that if I have already worked on a particular problem, we cannot continue. We can continue on the similar problem, the other aspects which are left. That's why in thesis, the last part is the recommendations for the future research. That is some part which is left in our thesis or our paper or research that can be done by the other researchers. those researchers who are working on this, they will have to see your recommendations also. Now these are the different types of research: pure and applied research, exploratory, formulative research, descriptive research, diagnostic research, evolutionary research, action research, experimental, analytical, historical, survey and case based. Pure. What is pure research? It is the study of search of knowledge. Who can explain this? Or what do you understand by this?
The study of the search of knowledge. That means information. Like any topic, if I want the full knowledge,
Others are also requested to participate.
like Google, like your it's a pure search what you want and it is. Right.
Your research is the first time research that is an information you want to know for the first time. That is the pure research, but this is not very common. Uh, Applied research, it is the study of finding solution to a problem. Very simple. It can be the purpose of pure and applied research is it can contribute new facts, it can put theory to the rest, it may aid in conceptual clarification, it may integrate previously existing theories. These are the different purposes of this pure research. It can contribute to a new facts, it can be some innovative idea which is coming or to the society or is beneficial to its stakeholders. It can put theory to the rest. It can give theory, different theories, new theories. It may aid in conceptual clarification of an existing theory or an existing process or an existing research. It may investigate previously existing theories. Some people have given a theory. For example, um, uh, any scientist has given a theory about a particular uh, subject matter. Then the other researchers can investigate: is it uh, feasible or not, or what are the implications of this theory, or anything new or any new theory can come from this theory. Applied, it offers solution to any practical problem. It should be applicable, applied. To find the critical factors in a practical problem. Can I give any example? To find the critical factors in a particular problem. Give example. साइंस वाले दें भाई एग्जाम्पल. कॉमर्स की तो मुझे आती है. Anybody from medicine? Computer science. जी. Can you give any examples related to the machine learning and artificial intelligence? मेरे लिए भी थोड़ी अच्छी हो जाएगी. I am also looking for that. Thank you. Anybody from commerce? Give example. Factors to find the critical factors in a particular problem. Yes, Nizar sir. Hmm. हम एक चीज करते हैं रिसर्च फैक्टर एनालिसिस. फैक्टर एनालिसिस एक चीज होती है. So why we do it? Because we know which factor is dominant in this problem. So that is the factor analysis. I have given the example of inflation, that what are the factors involved in the reasons behind the inflation in the country. So that factors can be identified and hypothesis can be generated on the basis of each and every factor. And then at the stage of analysis, we would like to know the reliability of these factors, hypothesis. Okay, thank you. Exploratory or formulative research is preliminary study of an unfamiliar problem about which the researcher has little or no knowledge. Purpose to generate new ideas, to increase the researcher's familiarity with the problem, to make a precise formulation of the problem, to gather information for clarifying concepts, to determine whether it is feasible to attempt the study. This is the purpose of uh, this kind of a research. Descriptive research is very easy to do. You have already have all the study material with you, and you only go through in depth, and you have to give your findings on that. The descriptive study is a fact finding investigation with adequate interpretation, which has already been done by other authors or other scientists. So it is the simplest type of research, as I have already told you. This is a simple and easy research. It is designed to gather descriptive information and provide information for formulating more sophisticated studies. And normally, this kind of researches are based on secondary data. Yes.
Descriptive research can be used in your own research as a survey. Like, for example, you're getting credit for the person who already done that research.
Yes.
But you take that research and base your hypothesis,
Definitely, definitely.
which is example of
Means we are using the multiple data, primary as well as secondary data. So the secondary data we generally get from the descriptive research.
no, but I'm not further discovering on that research. I am taking that research to work
It is up to you. Do you know that how this is relevant to your problem, solving your problem?
I was talking from the plagiarism point of view. Like there is some under that you're taking somebody else's research.
Yes. The literature review is also the descriptive research. Some review researchers or review papers, they are based on descriptive research. What the other said and what is your opinion on that? So you can mix all that by getting some primary data, and you can explain your views on the basis of your primary data, and you can compare with the research which has already been done by other authors. Then you finally you give your final conclusion on that. The purpose of descriptive research is it can focus directly on a theoretical point, like if somebody has given any theory and you are giving your criticism on that, it can highlight important methodological aspects of the data collection and interpretation of that data. It obtained in a research may be useful for prediction about areas of social life outside in the boundaries of your research. So descriptive studies are valuable in providing facts needed for planning social action programs. Somebody has given some solution to a particular problem and how it can be implemented in the society, that is to be done through the descriptive research which another author will conduct. Diagnostic research is scientific research. It is directed towards discovering what is happening, why is it happening, and what can be done about that. In medicine, medical field, the researchers are based on diagnosis. So it aims at identifying the causes of problem and possible solution for that. The cause and effect researchers are also the diagnostic research. The purpose of this research is the study may also be concerned with the discovering or testing whether certain variables are associated or not. Hmm. A lot of researches has been done on this COVID-19, and no solution has been given by any scientist, I think. I don't know much about that. Only the, no particular remedy has been developed because of not knowing exactly the reason. The diagnosis was not properly done by any scientist all over the world. To determine the frequency with which something occurs or with which it is associated with something else. Evolution studies, it is one of the type of applied research. It is made for assessing the effectiveness of social and economic programs implemented or for assessing the impact of developmental project areas. So this is based on evaluation of your the data which is to be already collected by other authors, or you will have to conduct your research based on um, that already done research or comparative study you are doing for that. So in this way, it's uh, we have to analyze the data and give final findings. So determination of the results attained by some activity designed to accomplish some valued goals or objectives. Any example from the management of commerce? Financial analysis of financial statements of last 3 years. Yeah. What is the reason why the company is not coming to the break-even point? A lot of researches are done and are in the mind, should be in your mind. It directed to assess or appraise the quality and quantity of activity and its performance. Okay, because it is totally database to specify its attributes and conditions required for its success. Action research. Research attempts to study action. Example, education of malaria, eradication of malaria, uh, maritime navigation. Can anybody explain from medicine or science this example? I know the action research, but what is this example? Eradication of malaria, maritime navigation. Action research is reflective process of progressive problem solving led by individuals working with others in terms or as a part of community or practice to improve the way they address issue and solve the problem. What is action research in management field? Can anybody give any example? Action research. What exactly action research is? Action research attempts to study action. What it means?
What are the decisions that is being taken?
Hmm.
What are the actions which has to be taken to solve that particular problem? Research on that action. That will be like
The purpose of the research is to implement that result immediately.
okay.
The the action
To solve that
should be
problem.
taken. Yes, production process. Yes, yes, distribution channels. You can say if there is some problem in a particular channel, what is required to be done, or how to increase the sales by
So exactly.
implementing dual channel.
So it means that the research that is done to take action
Take
immediately.
action, not immediately, but take action. Immediately depends upon the problem, the seriousness of the problem. Here it is clear. A baseline survey of the pre-action solution, hmm, a feasibility study of the proposed action program. What will be the feasibility of implementing this dual channel instead of only physical channel in selling process? Planning and launching the program, concurrent evaluation of the program, making modifications and changes in the program as Rizal said in the production process. Why the production is not coming out? What is the problem? You have to know the problem through your research, which should be very quick and immediately take action. What is the problem of? Is the problem in the labor's performance, or is the problem in the machinery, or is the problem in technology, or is the problem in raw material, or is the problem of scarcity of anything in the production process? That you will know and immediately you take action, because you cannot bear the loss because of not getting the appropriate production from your unit. Experimental research is commonly used in series such as sociology, psychology, physics, chemistry, biology, medicine, etc. All are research based. You have to do your experiments in different steps also to get results. Then you have to make changes in your experiment to get the appropriate result. Uh, Basically, these experimental research are very common in scientific research, uh, but it is implemented in all. It is applicable in all the streams in commerce and management also. The experimental is done through a research survey, or we have to take the interviews from the stakeholders to get on a particular result. It is a systematic and scientific approach to research in which the researchers manipulates one or more variables and controls and measures any change in other variables. Experiment research are conducted to be able to predict phenomena, maintain control over all factors, uh, a blueprint of the views that enables the researcher to test his hypothesis. You know what is the process of doing research? What is the main important part after the problem?
Hypothesis.
Objective.
We have the assumptions like facility of hypothesis.
Hypothesis is secondary. First is your objective.
Object.
Objective of the research. है ना? जब तक आपको टारगेट नहीं है, how can you assume कि what you have to do, and your hypothesis is based on your objectives. तीन चीजों का combination बहुत important है. That is your objectives, your hypothesis, and finally your findings. That involves the analysis also. But finding, objectives, and hypothesis should be correlated to each other. Analytical study, analysis is required. The study is the system of producers and techniques of analysis applied to quantitative data. A system of mathematical models, as I have given the example of knowing the mobile phone in this classroom, that can be done through this analysis. So any data which is in the raw form, data is the raw form of information. You cannot say how many mobile phones in this classroom. Yes, sir. If you will get something through questionnaire, you will get data, which is a raw form. You cannot say how many have which brand unless until you analyze that. Okay. So analysis is based on analytical study. What is it? It aims at testing hypothesis and specifically and interpreting relationship between two variables. Uh, which factor is, you will say that this factor is responsible for this problem. How you will? This is your hypothesis. One is and another you have to make an alternative hypothesis that this is not because of this problem. Now you will have to test the reliability of these two hypotheses. If the value is in appropriate form, which is required 0.05, then it is reliable. So historical research, the scientific collection and evaluation of data related to past occurrence in order to describe causes, effects, and intents of those events that may help explain present events and anticipate future events. All these things can be done in these kind of researches. What has been done, already been done, what we are doing, and what we can do in future that will be beneficial for the stakeholders of the society for which we are conducting our research. So data is often archival, including newspapers, clippings, photographs, or any other data which is available in the secondary form in different sources, can be used for historical researches. This is the purpose to draw explanation and green generalizations from the past trends in order to understand the present and anticipate the future on the basis of your work, which has to be based on the historical data already available in secondary form from different websites. That I have done the research, so I got the data from the different departments of the US, like US Chamber of Commerce, whatever data they have provided. I use that data in order to give my final results. It enables us to grasp our relationship with the past and plan more intelligently for the future through the secondary data which we are reviewing. So the past contains the key to the present, and the past and the present influences the future. It helps in visualizing the society as a dynamic organism, and its structure and functions are evolving, steadily growing, and underlying changes in transformation. I think this is the last or survey research. This is a very common research which is applicable in all the social sciences, humanities, and management e-commerce researchers. Survey research is one of the most important area of measurement in applied social research. The broad area of survey research comprises of measurement of procedures that involve asking questions from the respondents. So we have to decide what are our sample units. What is sample unit? Respondents. Huh? From where we are getting the response is sample unit. And sample size, how many? How many respondents of different demographics are required to get the data? So survey research, maybe through interview method, we will discuss the different methods of survey research later in the uh, next unit. So we have to generate different types of questions on different lines according to the yeah, to the interview or to the research through, through survey, through questionnaire or the schedule. There is a difference. And this question generally asked in your research methodology paper. What is the difference between schedule and questionnaire? ये आया था तुम्हारे एग्जाम में इंटरेस्ट नहीं. So questionnaire is organized, uh, organized list of questions. Yes, related to your problem. I think related to your problem which you are going to solve. Questionnaire. Questionnaire is a properly designed set of questions which can give the answer to your research problem. Schedule is also the same, but in case of questionnaire, the respondent himself fill the information. But in schedule, the respondent's information taken by the researcher and the researcher fill the information in that because all the population is not literate, they cannot write. So you have to use schedule also with I mean the procedure of making schedule is different as compared to questionnaire. Purpose is clear. Case study. A case study is a research methodology common in social sciences and basically in management. Case studies are very important. It is based on an in-depth investigation of single individual, this is very important, or group or event to explore the causation in order to find underlying principles. Case study is for a particular case. For example, something has happened in a company. Uh, there is a strike in a company, and what are the losses due to strike of 1 month in a company? What is the reason the strike happens, and why not HR people cannot remove that strike or stop that strike uh, or lockdown in the factory. So that may be any case. Case may be uh, depending upon the profitability. Case may be depending upon the sale or anything else. So this is based on not for all, but it's a particular company, particular individual, particular problem of a separate organization. To examine limited number of variables. Limited. The word limited because it is related to a particular person or organization. So case study method involve in-depth longitudinal examination of single instance or event. It provides a systematic way of looking at events, collecting data, analyzing information, and reporting the results to the organizational. uh, topmost authorities in order to implement that in their process. So this is all about the types of research. I have given a large number of types of researches. Who will make the group? Who will take the responsibility of making a group research methodology? Send the link. So how it is possible? I don't know.
I think we can just write the number here.
Phone
And
number
then
also.
for that, bedroom we can make the
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. But then that won't become clear.
I have not completed my this PPT because of the shortage of time, and immediately they said the classes will start from tomorrow. So I have certain notes here that I will share you here. So what is research? I have already explained you. Here are some key aspects of research which you note down. The first is the purpose. Research is conducted with a clear purpose or objective in mind. The purpose should be clear, the objective should be clear in your mind, then only you have to proceed for your further work. Second point is systematic approach. I have given the characteristics also. Systematic approach you have to apply. You cannot say that you have to write your findings first, then you will analyze the data. You will have to analyze the data, then you can come to the interpretation, come to your findings to interpretation. So, research follow a structured and systematic approach. It involves defining research question, as I have explained a lot, or hypothesis you have to develop, generate, designing a research plan or methodology should be clear, collecting and analyzing data and drawing conclusions based on the evidences you have collected. Third is data collection. In the series of research process, researchers gather data through various methods, including experiments, survey, interviews, observations, literature review, and archival research, which has already been done. If you archive from the different websites, the choice of data collection method depends on the research question and the nature of the study. Next is the analysis. Once the data is collected, researchers analyze it. I have given the example of mobile phone here in this class. Using appropriate technique and tools, statistical analysis, quantitative coding, and data visualization, and common methods used to make sense of the data. In this, we have to use the software like SPSS, R, and there are many other softwares are available through which we can easily analyze the data and get the uh, ready tables to for interpretation and analysis. Third is interpretation, means what the table say, what table depicts, you have to write in your interpretation. What the figure or graph depicts, that has to be explained in your interpretation part. The researcher interprets the findings in the context of their research question or hypothesis which you have generated, the results you got after the pilot research or the complete research. What is pilot research? Is there anybody know pilot research? Hmm? Yes, a small uh, sample size you have to take to do a research, to do the analysis. If you are getting a favorable answers or favorable results, then you will have to continue further data collection. So before collecting the bulk data, you have to make an initial analysis that is said to be pilot research. And the RDC will ask you in the pilot, have you done the pilot research or not? What is the result of pilot research? So before bulk data collection, it is my advice to all of you to do pilot research. Otherwise, your data collection method, get questionnaire, maybe fail in getting the results. Sixth point is reporting. The result of research are typically documented and communicated through research paper, reports, presentation, or other forms of publication. The dissemination of the findings allow other scholars and other and wider community to review, replicate, and build upon the results. So reporting is maybe through your thesis, to research paper, any report, any case finding. All these types of researches have different kind of reporting. Next, peer review. Peer review, in many fields, research goes through the peer reviewers or peer review process where the experts in the same field evaluate the research. Why we send your research, your thesis to the external experts? Because of peer review. They will go through that, or they are the expert of that field, like international business in our field, marketing, HR, finance, in scientific field also physics, chemistry, biology. Well, a lot of long lecture has been given by our vice chancellor yesterday. It was gone through from my head. किस बारे में बातें कर रहे थे कौन सी डिजीज DNA. I am a little bit grasped. Then continuous process. So research is an interactive process. It often leads to a new questions and areas for further investigation. As I have told you, there is a topic of recommendations for future research that has been recommended for others who want to do on a similar topic. What aspect left in your field that has to be adopted by that they can adopt that as a research problem.
There is search engine for that, where we can find that.
Search engine.
Uh, any topic of recommendation
Hmm.
of research area.
Recommendations. Yes, yes, you can get it.
Online.
Online are also available, but you cannot trust on that. It is better that you have to go through the thesis or research papers. Their recommendation and findings. Yes. If you go through on this or chat GPT, you cannot get exactly what is required. Continuous process, which is a continuous process, that's why I told you you have to recommend. Ethical consideration. Yesterday, the lecture you have listened on ethics, research ethics, plan review. is prohibited. Plagiarism should not be done. Paraphrasing, all these things are unethical. You have to write in your own language, your own observations, then that will be an ethical research. So researchers must adhere to ethical guidelines and principles in the work. You have a separate paper on publication and research and publication ethics. This is the second common paper, as I told you. First is research methodology, and the second is research and publication ethics. These are two common papers for all the students, all the scholars. And the third paper is fundamental paper, that is subject specific paper. That is management, in which the paper name is management, code is I think 601 something, RS 601. So in which you will study marketing part, HR, finance, corporate governance, and entrepreneurship, international business, and sustainability also there in that. So different teachers will teach you different aspects. If we talk about the research methodology, so what methodology we have to follow in conducting a research or reporting our research problem, that is required research design. First is, this is the overall uh, plan for, or a blueprint, you can say, of a research study, which you have to discuss in your research methodology chapter, that what methodology you are going to follow, what type of data collection you will have to use. The second is the data collection method. That may be that you will, how you will collect the data, what kind of a data you are using, various methods, survey, experiment, interview, observation, archival research. They are the different types of data that can help you in solving your research problem. Next is sampling. The research often use a set of the longer population to gather a data. There is a set formula, on the basis of that you can calculate your sample size. If your research is based in UP, so what is the UP's total population? That is to be divided by, there is some formula. I don't know the statistic department people will give you what exactly the method you will use in getting the sample size. Sample unit, you must know yourself what will be your sample unit. लोग होंगे या चीज़ें हैं या प्लांट है ना, या वेजिटेबल्स हैं जिस पर रिसर्च कर रहे हैं, या डिजीजेज हैं, वॉट एवर दैट यू विल गेट इट. Data analysis, I have explained that. Research ethics, explained. Research instruments, means these are tools and instruments used to collect the data, such as survey, questionnaire, test, measurement devices, developing reliable and valid instruments in critical and obtaining accurate data. In scientific research, there are certain instruments you need to have in order to do a particular research. A particular atmosphere is also required to in the lab to get the result. इधर थोड़ा सा काम चल रहा है. Okay. Data interpretation. I have given the table which you are going to explain in your own words. What exactly result says what. है ना? How many people have this mobile phone? How many people have this mobile phone? That is interpretation. उस टेबल को हम जो explain करेंगे, that is interpretation. Literature review, important part. Go through the previous work. That may be in ascending orders or descending orders. You will use year-wise. In 2001, what Mr. X said about this, you have to write that. Or you can start it from 2022 and 21, 20. depends upon you, or whatever the process in your research process in this university is applicable is available in the website. Research validity and reliability is to be uh, done. The researchers strive to ensure that their studies are both valid, measuring what they intend to measure, and reliable, yielding consistent results or not. That has to be declared in your pilot research. Research reporting is thesis writing, communicating research findings in a crucial step. It's a crucial step that is because somebody else apart from you is using that. So it should be in a language that is known by others also. So that's why we conduct research in English because it can be utilized by all over the globe. So report writing is also require a scientific method. The researchers often publish their results in academic journals, present them in conferences, or share them through various form of communication. You do have to participate in conferences also, start participating in conferences, seminars, present your paper on your problem with which you want to do your PhD. And so you have to go and our PhD coordinator will also forward you and they will make a group about this information where the conference is going to be held, what workshop is going on, online or offline board. You can present paper also that will contribute in your PhD also. Then research reporting के बाद है research paradigm. Researchers may operate with specific research paradigm or approaches such as positivation, interpretation, and critical theory. Then research process you have to follow. Research methodology involves a structured and scientific process which I have explained, starting from identifying the research problem, formulating your research question, clarifying your research gap, then your introduction about the topic and the research methodology, and then data interpretation through your analysis, findings, conclusion, and recommendation. I think this is enough for today because this is the first class.
Please make the notes
Is there any question? Yes,
WhatsApp group.
in the link. Okay, that's good. So let me add you also. Do you have my number? 9794 9794 38 6060 9438 6060. Apart from my topic, which I will cover, I will give you the PPTs of other topics also because the last batch I have covered hypothesis also data collection. I have the notes I am providing the notes also because you have very less time in your exam. So that's why we are covering it very fast. Because this is the first class, that's why I have taken much time. So this is all for today. Thank you so much. This is the this is the syllabus. We take the photograph and put it on the. Kumar. तो और अभी मैं रिकमेंड करूँगा आपको बुक्स बुक्स हैं बहुत अच्छी जी हाँ हो जाएगी आप लोग की अब अपनी डिपार्टमेंटल क्लासेस हो
You are in what class?
यू गो इन योर डिपार्टमेंट यस your subject related class. चार दो research methodology के period और दो period your subject discuss. So now you have to go to your department for the subject specific class. It will also be of 2 hours class. So you have to contact your research coordinator of your department, and he will give you the timetable. If they will not take today,